The Roman Empire, once the epitome of power and civilization, was ravaged by corruption, brutality, and decay, its collapse so catastrophic that it would take over 1,000 years for the Western world to recover. In the midst of this chaos, a lone historian, Edward Gibbon, would emerge to chronicle the downfall of this behemoth. His work, The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, a 6-volume testament to the empire's unrelenting descent into darkness. Published between 1776 and 1789, Gibbon's masterpiece would expose the rot that had infected Rome's core, a cancer that had been eating away at its foundations for centuries. As the first volume rolled off the presses in February 1776, the world was about to be confronted with a stark reality. The Roman Empire's demise was not a sudden event, but a gradual process, the result of a complex interplay of factors that had been building in intensity over the centuries. Gibbon's meticulous research, spanning over 8 centuries, from 98 to 1590, would lay bare the empire's darkest secrets, from the corrupting influence of power to the ravages of war and disease. The Roman Empire, once a beacon of stability and prosperity, had been torn asunder by internal strife, its leaders more concerned with consolidating their own power than with the welfare of their subjects. The publication of volumes 2 and 3 in 1781 would only add to the sense of unease, as Gibbon delved deeper into the empire's malaise, revealing a world where the rule of law had given way to the rule of the sword. The rise of early Christianity, far from being a unifying force, had instead sowed discord and division, as the Roman state struggled to reconcile its own pagan traditions with the demands of its increasingly Christianized populace. The Western Roman Empire, once the epicenter of power, was now on the brink of collapse, its territories being overrun by barbarian hordes, its people terrorized by the constant threat of violence and pillage. As the final 3 volumes, 4 to 6, appeared in 1788, the full extent of the Roman Empire's decline became brutally clear. The Byzantine Empire, once the bastion of Eastern Roman power, was itself on the verge of collapse, its capital, Constantinople, a city of crumbling ruins and desperate, impoverished inhabitants. The rise of Genghis Khan and Tamerlane, those Mongol warlords of the steppes, had brought a new era of darkness, their armies sweeping across the known world, leaving destruction and despair in their wake. The Roman Empire, that mighty colossus, had been reduced to a mere shadow of its former self, testament to the transience of human power and the unyielding forces of history. Gibbon's work, reissued in a succession of 6 revised editions between 1776 and 1789, would become a benchmark of historical scholarship, its quarto editions giving way to more accessible octavo reprints from 1783 onward. Yet, despite its impact, the true horror of the Roman Empire's collapse would remain largely unappreciated, its lessons lost on a world that seemed doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past. The ruins of ancient Rome, those haunting reminders of a bygone era, stood as a grim testament to the empire's unrelenting decline, a decline that had been fueled by the very same forces that had once propelled it to greatness: ambition, greed, and a lust for power. As we gaze upon the ruins of the Roman Empire, we are forced to confront a haunting reality: the line between civilization and barbarism is perilously thin, and that even the greatest of empires can fall prey to the same weaknesses that have destroyed countless others throughout history. The Roman Empire's collapse was not an isolated event, but rather a symptom of a far deeper malaise, one that continues to plague human societies to this day. And so, as we ponder the lessons of Gibbon's masterpiece, we are left with a haunting question: what will be the fate of our own civilization, as we teeter on the brink of collapse, threatened by the very same forces that brought down the mighty Roman Empire? The answer, much like the empire itself, remains shrouded in darkness, a reminder that the past is never truly past, but rather a harbinger of the horrors that may yet be to come.